welcome to Polish with Ray. I'm Rachel and today I'm going to be sharing with you the Bee's Knees Lacquer Fever Collection. Before we get started, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new, hey, go ahead and press that subscribe button. I upload new live swatching videos every week. So as you can see, this is a very small collection. Just kidding. The Fever Collection is a 15-piece collection that's split into two parts. Half of them are inspired by creatures from the Fever series, and then the other half are inspired by quotes from the book. They're also releasing a customer appreciation polish this month that I'll be sharing with you as well. So like I said, these polishes are all inspired by the 11-book series by Karen Marie Moning, the Fever series. It's all about a character named Michaela, whose sister is brutally murdered, and Michaela goes on an adventure to Ireland to try to track down the killer. I haven't read this series, but if you have, let me know what you thought in the comments. I'm always up for a good murder mystery, and this one sounds awesome. The collection's launched for pre-order on March 26th at noon Eastern Standard Time, and they'll be available through March 29th at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bee's Knees Lacquer is also going to be having a site-wide 15% off sale starting on the 26th, which I know I'm going to be taking advantage of, especially with the knowledge that Bee's Knees Lacquer shop is closing later this year. If you weren't aware of that, Sarah, the maker, did announce it on her Facebook group, Bee's Knees Buzz, which I'll link in the description box. I'll also try to link the exact post where she shared that information, made that announcement. And I don't want to talk about it too much on here because it's not my news to share, but she said she plans to close up the shop in August or September, and I'm sure many of you, as well as myself, are very devastated. So I'm coping by trying to buy every polish she's ever made, so there we go. Bee's Knees Lacquer is well known for releasing UP collections with unicorn pigment, and with the closing of the shop, Sarah said that half of the collection will probably be the last full UP collection that launches with Bee's Knees Lacquer. From what I've heard, there is a shortage of unicorn pigment at the moment, so Bee's Knees Lacquer has capped those polishes at 200 bottles. So if you're looking to get those, you might want to make sure you've got your alarm set for noon on March 26th. And of course, I will link all of Bee's Knees Lacquer's site and their social media in the description box. All right, let's go ahead and get into the swatches. Underneath all my swatches today, I will be wearing two different base coats. On the right is a regular clear base coat, and then on the left is a blurring base coat. And I'll have both of those linked in the description box. So we're going to start off with the Fever Creatures collection, which has all UP polishes. This is Rhino Boys, and it's described as being a smoky eggplant with OG UP, that's, red to green, and it retails for $15. All of the polishes in this half of the collection do retail for $15. So in the bottle here, we can see that gray leaning eggplant color, and the red part of the UP really pops against that purple base. On the first coat, this one was quite sheer. I could see a lot of that blurring base coat peeking through, and then on the other finger, I could see quite a bit of nail line peeking through as well. A lot of UP polishes tend to be sheer because you don't want such a pigmented base coat that it covers up and overwhelms and overpowers that gorgeous UP. On the second coat, we start to see that gorgeous eggplant color really starting to pop and develop. And then on the other finger, I still can see quite a bit of nail line, and I really am desiring a third coat. I went in for a third coat on both, and I found that over the blurring base coat, I was super happy with how it turned out. I really couldn't see much nail line, and I thought it looked beautiful as well on the right finger, although I could still see just a little bit of nail line peeking through. Here's what it looks like in my studio lightings. You see that gorgeous contrast between the purple base and the red UP. And then these also look so beautiful in bright lighting. I didn't have any sunshine, so I took them out with some bright LEDs, and here's what that looks like. And you can see the green UP as well. Pictured are 3 coats of Rhino Boys with a glossy top coat. Next up, we have the Unseelie King. This one's described as being a royal violet with OG red to green UP, and it also retails for $15. This polish is crazy. It is so intensely pigmented. In fact, Sarah says you definitely should wear a base coat with this one if you want to avoid staining, because it does stain. I wore a base coat with it and I did not experience any staining, so take that for what it is. But it's described as being a royal violet. It's so saturated that it almost looks blue in some lighting, like an indigo. It's gorgeous. On the first coat here, you can see that incredibly buttery, smooth formula. It goes on very easily and evenly. On the second coat, I was really happy with the opacity on the nail that had the blurring base coat. I left it at 2, but I feel like without the blurring base coat, I would have gone in for 3. So here's what it looks like in 3 coats under my studio lighting, and you can really see the contrast between that royal violet base and the red UP. It's gorgeous. Here's what it looks like in bright lighting. So, so beautiful. Pictured are 3 coats of the Unseelie King with a glossy top coat. Up next is HOAR Frost King. This one's described as being an icy denim blue with OG red to green UP, and of course it retails for $15. Ooh, I love this one with that red and green UP. You can really see the green and the red so well against this denim colored base. By the way, at the end of this video, I do compare this polish and several others in this collection with some recent releases from Bee's Knees Lacquer, so make sure you stick around to the end so you don't miss those comparisons. On the first coat, this one was incredibly smooth and even, very easy to work with, but quite sheer. Going in for a second coat, I could really see that denim color starting to develop, and it is so beautiful. I really like the idea of wearing this one into spring or even in fall. On the third coat, I got full opacity or very close to it with the blurring base coat, and I could still see just a little bit of nail line on the nail that had the clear base coat. Here's what it looks like on the full hand with the blurring base coat underneath. So, so pretty. I love the contrast between that blue base and the red UP. I think it's gorgeous. And here's what it looks like in the brighter lighting, and you can see the green shift here. Oh, lovely. I love it. Pictured are 3 coats of HOAR Frost King with a glossy top coat. Next up, we have the Royal Hunters. This one's described as being a blackened forest green with OG red to green UP, and it retails for $15. So this is just an absolutely gorgeous shade. I really see myself getting a lot of use of it in the fall. It is a blackened forest green, but it's not so deep that it almost looks black. I tend not to like those polishes that look black in regular lighting, but then you can see the real color. No, this one looks green in every lighting. Going in with the first coat, it has a great amount of pigmentation. Again, I didn't experience any staining with any of the polishes in this collection, but I wore base coat with all of them. So highly recommend wearing base coat with all of these more pigmented shades. I also want to reiterate that these polishes in the UP Fever Creatures collection are capped at 300 bottles. Initially, they were going to be capped at 200 bottles, but luckily Sarah got in some more UP pigment and was able to expand the cap to 300. On the second coat here, I still had a little bit of patchiness, so I went in for a third coat, and I was very happy with how it looked in 3. We get that beautiful deep green color. Oh, just so pretty. Here's what it looks like on the full hand swatch. Again, underneath my full hand swatch and all of the Fever Creatures polishes, I am wearing that blurring base coat. And as you can see, there's really no nail line visible. Here in the brighter lighting, you can see that red UP shift to the green. Oh, this one's so sparkly and gorgeous. Pictured are 3 coats of Royal Hunters with a glossy top coat. Up next, we have the book. This one's described as being a plum brown with green to blue sibling UP. So it's got a different type of UP pigment. It retails for $15. So in the bottle here, the green part of the UP is just so bright. I totally thought this was a green polish until I applied it on the nail. And then you get to see that gorgeous brown shade. Check out the formula on this one. Literally couldn't have been more perfect. So easy to apply, so smooth, so buttery. I'm in love. I could see still quite a bit of nail line peeking through and a little bit of the blurring base coat. So of course I had to go in for another coat and I ended up building it to 3. However, I feel like if you're wearing this with a blurring base coat, you could leave it at 2 and get kind of a really pretty lighter brown shade. But if you're willing to build it to 3, you get that gorgeous plummy brown that you see in the bottle. Oh, how lovely is the contrast between that brown shade and the green pigment. Yes, I love it. So here on the full hand, you can really see that gorgeous brown base. This isn't one that would strike me as a polish for spring, but this isn't really a seasonal collection. Bee's Knees Lacquer doesn't really do seasonal collections. However, I find that a lot of their polishes fit very well into the season that they're being released in. Here's what it looks like under bright lighting, and you can see the blue part of that UP pigment. Pictured are 3 coats of the book with a glossy top coat. Up next, we have the Crimson Hag. This one's described as being a rich crimson with OG red to green UP, and it retails for $15. This is one of my favorites. The next 3 are like my favorites of this Fever Creatures UP collection, and my oh my, this one is gorgeous. It reminded me some of When All Is Blood from a few collections ago from Bee's Knees Lacquer. At the end of this video, I do throw in a comparison for this polish and quite a few others. So going on the nail, again, perfect formula. Bee's Knees, how do you do it? How do you do it? It is perfection. It's so smooth and buttery. In fact, with that blurring base coat, I don't see any nail line. I did want to build it up more so I could get a richer, bolder base, but I mean, come on. It's so beautiful. As we start to build it up in the second coat, we get more of that gorgeous, bold crimson color. This red is a little bit pink leaning, like kind of a raspberry leaning red. Very, very pretty. And then on the third coat here, we get that dazzling bright red color. Oh, I am a red lover. This polish is wonderful. And the red UP in here just kind of shimmers and glistens on the nail. It's so sparkly and just lovely. Here on the full hand swatch, you can see it in action. And then in the bright lighting, you can see the green UP as well. I'm out of words. It's wonderful. Pictured are 3 coats of the Crimson Hag with a glossy top coat. Next, we have Balor. This one's described as being a deep, rich orange with OG red to green UP, and it retails for $15 as well. Oh my goodness, what a breathtaking orange. Oh, yes. It's incredible. It's so bright. It's not neon. I feel like it's pulling a little bit neon on camera, but it really is a bright, bold, but slightly deep orange shade. On application, this one was also just perfection. Total perfection. It was smooth, easy to work with, easy to apply, no patchiness, just, yep. Nothing else to say. I did still see quite a bit of nail line on that first coat, which is to be expected, but I felt like it built up nicely on the nail that had the blurring base coat. I did need 3 for sure on the nail with a clear base coat. However, I did go in for 3 on both and just love the way it turned out. It was bright and beautiful. I feel like the base is so bold on this one that just a little bit it overpowers the UP. It's not as visible as it is in some of the other more subtly hued polishes, but just gorgeous regardless. So here in the bright lighting, you can see that gorgeous green shift in the UP. It's more visible when you can see the green than it is in the red, and it's lovely. Pictured are 3 coats of Balor with a glossy top coat. Up next, we have my favorite from the Fever Creatures part of the collection. This is Shades, and it's described as a bright sunny yellow with gold to green sibling UP. So it's another one that's got some sibling UP, not the traditional red to green. And it retails for $15. I think I found my perfect yellow. I'm serious. I don't know what else I could want from a yellow other than what this gives me. It's sunny, it's happy, it is going to be my yellow that I wear this summer. I've already decided it's phenomenal. On application, check it out. Boom. What else do you want from a yellow? If you're looking for a yellow polish, oh, yes, this one. Try to get this one. It's so pretty. It is not opaque in that first coat. And in fact, even in 3 coats, I could still see a little bit of nail line, even with the blurring base coat, but it's so smooth and even. Yellows are notoriously patchy and difficult to work with. This one is perfection. It's wonderful. I feel like I've said that too many times. I'm sorry. But I'm also not sorry. I'm just being honest. I was really wanting to see what this one would look like with 2 coats of blurring base coat to see if that would get it opaque. So that's what you're looking at here. 2 coats of blurring base coat, 3 coats of shades, and a glossy top coat. And it is really, really close to being opaque. Yes, I see a tiny bit of nail line and really bright lighting, but it's, I mean, I'll take it. I will take it. And then here you can see some of that gorgeous green UP. Yep. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Pictured are 3 coats of shades with a glossy top coat. All right, so now we're getting into the quotes half of the collection. These do not contain UP. They're all beautiful shimmers and they are not capped. So this one is The One Who Will Never Let You Die. It's described as being a clover green with blue to purple shimmer, and it retails for $12. All of the polishes in this half of the collection retail for $12. So it is a gorgeous, gorgeous, bright, bright bluish toned green, and it's got a bold aqua shimmer. You can see the pink shimmer too in lower lighting, but in bright lighting, the aqua is what catches your eye. On application, this one was quite sheer. I could see a lot of the nail line peeking through and a good amount of that blurring base coat as well. On the second coat, we start to see a little bit more of that bright, beautiful, bluish, greenish base. And then on the third coat, I did reach near full opacity on the nail that had the blurring base coat, but I did not reach full opacity on the one that had the clear base coat. Here's what it looks like on the full hand swatch. And for this half of the collection, I did not use the blurring base coat underneath my polishes in the full hand swatch. So you're looking at 3 coats of The One Who Will Never Let You Die with no blurring base coat and a glossy top coat. And here in the lower lighting is where it really shines. You can see that gorgeous purple shimmer coming out. Pictured are 3 coats of The One Who Will Never Let You Die with a glossy top coat. Next up, we have Hope Strengthens, Fear Kills. This one's described as being a mid-toned green with glowy pink to gold to lime shimmer, and it retails for $12. Oh, this polish is so pretty. I'm not usually a fan of greens, but I actually was surprised with how much I liked this one. It really does have a strong pink purplish shimmer, and I think that made me fall in love with it even more. On application, this one performed very similarly to The One Who Will Never Let You Die. It was quite sheer on that first coat, and I could see quite a bit of nail line and the blurring base coat brown shade underneath. On the second coat, I can see more of that mid-toned green shade building up and tons of that pinky purple shimmer. And then in 3 coats, I reached almost complete opacity with the blurring base coat and was very close to full opacity without the blurring base coat. Here's what it looks like on the full hand swatch. And you can see how bold that glowy pink purple shimmer is. And then I see a little bit of that lime coming out too, but wait till you see it in low lighting. So here it is in the lower lighting, and we see that purple in the lime, but wait for it. Check that out. How incredibly gorgeous is that shimmer? I'm in love. Pictured are 3 coats of Hope Strengthens, Fear Kills with a glossy top coat. Up next, we have I'll See You in the Slipstream. This one's described as being a pale blurple with aqua to pink shimmer, and it retails for $12. In bright lighting, this one doesn't look super blurple to me. It looks more like a blue, and then you can see the aqua as well, but as you take it into lower lighting, you can see the blue shift to a really pretty purple shade. On application like the others, this one was quite sheer. However, it's got such strong shimmer that I feel like the shimmer provides a little bit of coverage. I am such a huge fan of Bee's Knees Lacquer brushes. They are wide paddle brushes that really hug the sides of the nail. Sometimes if I'm being really careful, I can get the whole nail covered in just one pass, which is pretty incredible. So as you can see, it builds up nicely on the second coat here, but I do want a third coat just to get that bright color I see in the bottle. And there you go. It is almost completely opaque on the nail that has the blurring base coat, and then I can still see a little bit of nail line on the one that has the clear base coat. So here's the full hand swatch, and now we're getting a glimpse of that purple that they talked about, the blurple shade base. As you can see, without the blurring base coat, we do see quite a bit of nail line. And then in the lower lighting, we get a glimpse of that gorgeous blurple polish with aqua to pink shimmer. Oh, almost looks purple at some angles. So pretty. Pictured are 3 coats of I'll See You in the Slipstream with a glossy top coat. Next we have One Day I'm Going to Hold a Lot of Joy. I don't know why, that quote gets me so much. This one's described as being a soft lilac with glowy pink to gold to green shimmer, and it retails for $12. So it's described as a soft lilac, but here in the bright lighting, to me it looks more like a little bit periwinkle shade. However, in the lower lighting, it definitely does pull more of like a lilac-y purple. On application, this one was the most opaque that we've seen so far. Quite a bit of that nail line is covered up by the deeper colored base and the extremely glowy shimmer that's inside of it. Going in for a second coat, I got quite great coverage on the nail that had the blurring base coat, and I could still see quite a bit of nail line on the one that did not have that. I did go in for a third coat and got full opacity on the nail that had the blurring base coat and almost full opacity on the one that did not. So here's what it looks like on the full hand swatch. Just lovely. I think this is a perfect polish for spring. And I love that the first half of the collection is more bold, bright colors that you'd maybe wear in the summertime. And then this half is perfect for spring. It kind of takes you throughout both seasons. And how incredibly gorgeous is this in lower lighting? Now I really see that soft lilac base, and I feel like every color of the rainbow. Oh, yes, I love this one. Pictured are 3 coats of One Day I'm Going to Hold a Lot of Joy with a glossy top coat. Next up, we have Ice to My Fever. This one's described as being a nude gray toned pink with glowing aqua to purple shimmer, and it retails for $12. So when I showed this one to my sister, verbatim, she said, "I think this is the prettiest polish I've ever seen in my life." Yes. And it is. It's so gorgeous. It's got such a soft nude tone base, but it's slightly pink, so it's a little warm. And then the contrast between that nude base and the aqua shimmer, oh, chef's kiss. I love it. It's quite sheer, but again, that shimmer gives you a good amount of coverage all on its own. When I went in for a second coat, I start to get nice buildup of that nudie pink base, but really what you see most on the nail is that bright aqua shimmer. And this one actually I thought was quite beautiful without the blurring base coat. I think if I wear it in the future, or when I wear it in the future, I'll be wearing it without the blurring base coat because it kind of gives you a your nails but better vibe with that nude base and the bold aqua shimmer. So here's what it looks like on the full hand swatch. No blurring base coat, just absolutely beautiful. You get great shimmer in this, that gorgeous aqua, and then you can see the purples on the sides. And here's what it looks like in lower lighting, and that shimmer just takes over. It's incredible. Pictured are 3 coats of Ice to My Fever with a glossy top coat. Continuing on with pinks, we have Nothing Else Matters. This one's described as being a baby pink with soft gold to green shimmer, and it retails for $12. So the gold shimmer in this is jaw-dropping. Yes, jaw-dropping. Wait till you see it on the nails. It's crazy. The base in this one is quite a bit lighter than I thought. I thought it would be a like bright baby pink, like bubblegum kind of pink based on what I see in the bottle, but on application where it is such a sheer base, it looks more like a very soft, almost nude leaning pink on me anyway. So here on the first coat already, we're seeing just how impactful and beautiful that gold shimmer is. It seriously looks like it's lit from within, and I love it. This is another one where the shimmer is just so bold that it actually provides quite a bit of coverage in terms of nail line. When I built it up to 2 coats over the blurring base coat, I could hardly see any nail line at most angles. I did build it up to 3 coats and got pretty close to full opacity. I feel like I could see a little bit of nail line in really bright lighting, but in regular lighting, I was good to go. This is another one that is like your nails, but better. It's so pretty. So here we go in my studio lighting, and doesn't it look like it's just like glowing? And then on the sides of the nails here, we see the green shimmer too. Here's what it looks like in lower lighting. Oh, so pretty. Pictured are 3 coats of Nothing Else Matters with a glossy top coat. And my favorite from this half of the collection is a pink, surprise, surprise. It is Rainbow Girl, and it's described as being an orchid with bright gold to green to blue shimmer, and it retails for $12. So it's this beautiful like magenta. They call it an orchid pink, and it's got gold shimmer, it's got green shimmer, it's got blue shimmer. Oh, I love this polish. And this one, the application literally couldn't have been better. It was perfect. The base was pretty opaque, the shimmer was strong, and that paired with a blurring base coat, I couldn't see any nail line after that first coat. I did want a more pigmented base. I wanted to see more of that gorgeous pinky orchid base, so I built it up to 3 coats, but just wow. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. It's definitely my favorite out of the whole collection. I would say if you're a fan of pinks and you're just wanting to pick up one, which good luck to you if that's your choice. But if you're just wanting to pick up one from this whole entire Fever collection, I would say this has to be my pick. I love it. It's so incredibly glowy. So here in the bright lighting, you see that bright, bold, it almost looks fuchsia-y pink shade. And then in the lower lighting, it does take on more of an orchid color, and you can see more of that green shimmer. Oh, just breathtaking. Completely breathtaking. Pictured are 3 coats of Rainbow Girl with a glossy top coat. And then Bee's Knees Lacquer is also releasing their Customer Appreciation shade for this year. This is Customer Appreciation 2021, and it is a black to green to purple multi-chrome that retails for $12. So if you're someone who's been a fan of all these red to black multi-chromes that come out, this one is for you. I've been waiting for when someone, or I guess, I don't know, I haven't seen anyone do it yet, take that red to black multi-chrome and make it black to a different color. And it seems like Bee's Knees Lacquer has done just that. This one has that gorgeous black base, but then it shifts to green and purple, and it's really, really cool. It is a little bit sheer on that first coat, although it does have a very, very great formula, super easy to work with. I found that on my nail length, it built up perfectly in 2 coats. I had complete opacity. So there we can see the green and the purple shift. Oh, just lovely. Here in bright lighting, you can see some of that black, green, and purple. How cool is this? I think it is so cool. And I don't usually like darker polishes, but this one is pretty awesome. Then here in the lower lighting, you can really see all of those gorgeous shifts. It is crazy. If you like vampy shades, whoa, look at that. See, there's even some gold and pink in there. Maybe some orange too. What? This is really cool. Yeah, big fan of this polish. Pictured are 2 coats of Customer Appreciation 2021. And then I did want to throw in a few quick comparisons. On the left here, we have When All Is Blood from the Nevernight Chronicles collection. On the right is Lady of Flame. And then in the center, we have the Crimson Hag from this collection. So you can see with all 3 polishes side by side, the Crimson Hag definitely has more of a raspberry pinky type base. When All Is Blood is also a UP polish, but it has more of a blue tone base. And then Lady of Flame is a little bit orangier. I also wanted to compare another UP polish Shoggoth, which was from the Lovecraft Country collection, to the Unseelie King. Both have a purple type base, but different UP pigment. So in the bottle, the base color actually looks quite similar, although I feel like you can see that the Unseelie King has a little bit more blue in it. It's more of an indigo, whereas the Shoggoth is more purple. Here's what they look like swatched side by side. They are very, very different. Shoggoth has more of a gray toned base, and then Unseelie King is more blue. Unseelie King is also more opaque than Shoggoth. Here is Bat from the What We Do in the Shadows collection, compared to Rhino Boys from this collection. As you can see, Bat has more of a purple, almost pinky toned base compared to Rhino Boys, which has a smoky eggplant or grayish toned base. Rhino Boys has UP pigment, whereas Bat just has a strong green shimmer. Here's what they look like swatched side by side, and you can definitely see that Rhino Boys is a little bit deeper and has more of a gray base, whereas Bat has more of a pinky toned base. I also wanted to compare Lady of Oceans to Hoarfrost King. Lady of Oceans was from the Nevernight Chronicles collection, and then Hoarfrost King is from the Fever series that I'm reviewing today. The base color of these was more similar than I was expecting. If anything, Lady of Oceans is just slightly lighter than Hoarfrost King, but they are pretty close. Lady of Oceans does not have UP though. It has a strong purple shimmer, and then Hoarfrost King, of course, has that gorgeous UP pigment. So here's what they look like swatched side by side. Yeah, I can definitely see as they're swatched that Lady of Oceans is a little bit brighter and maybe just a tinge lighter as well. And just a few more comparisons here for you. On the left, we have Until It Is Done, which was Bee's Knees Lacquer's Polish Pickup Shade in January this year. And then on the right, we have I'll See You in the Slipstream. The shimmer in these looked quite similar, so I just wanted to compare the two. In the bottle, you can see that Until It Is Done is a bit darker than I'll See You in the Slipstream. And then on the nail, it is apparent that it is much darker than I'll See You in the Slipstream. Until It Is Done is also quite a bit more opaque. And the last comparison I have for you are these two. On the left here, we've got Why Is It Always Me, which was their January Hella Handmade Creations polish in their Ghost Adventure series. And then on the right is One Day I'm Going to Hold a Lot of Joy. These both have that more periwinkle blurply type base, but as you can see, the shimmer is very different. In the Hella Handmade Creations, it's more of a pink copper shimmer, and then in
the one day I'm gonna hold a lot of joy, we've got a really bright glowy purple shimmer. Hopefully these comparisons were helpful for you. If you got any other comparisons requests, then you can leave them in the comments and I might be able to compare them on my Instagram.
Once again, Bees Knees Lacquer is coming for all our money with this release. Go ahead and let me know in the comments which polishes were your favorite and if you'll be picking any of them up. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!